nightcap, it's Tanner Roark's turn to help the Nats sweep the doubleheader and secure a series win. It is amazing what a difference a couple of hours can make. It's sunny, it's gorgeous. Finish that first game in a downpour. You're looking at the starting lineup for the nightcap of the doubleheader. Tanner Roark goes for the Nats. Bob and Ray, and the day night with Ray night continues, by the way. Good to have you with us, buddy.
Good to be
and we
here,
saw
man.
in that first game the importance of table setting. Michael A. Taylor got it done. Anthony Rendon got it done.
Yeah, he really did. 7 times they were on base. Anthony was able to get a couple base hits. As you saw, Michael Taylor, 2 base hits, stole 2 bases, setting the table for Rendon behind him. He scored a couple runs, hit a P into left center field, and that's the way you get it done, man. I mean, when you have those first 2 guys on 7 times with 3 combined walks, and you get the chance to drive and run, situational hitting, sacrifice flies, Rendon flying, and then Rendon line drive base hit, scoring Taylor left center field. So you get guys on 7 times in a ball game, there's going to be some damage because your 3, 4, 5 guys are going to drive and run.
All right, so the game summary, Michael A. Taylor, 2 for 3, doing it all that a leadoff guy should. Anthony Rendon scoring some more runs. He picks up an RBI. And then Steven Strasburg, not one of his greatest days, but enough to make him 6-0, and that's all that matters. Now they turn it over to Tanner Roark tonight, and he's kind of the steady Eddie in this rotation. You kind of know what you're going to get from him every time out.
Well, he's a guy that looks like he's been pitching 7 or 8 years starting rotation in the big leagues, where he won the 15 games 2 years ago, went to the bullpen. But every time he goes out there, he just gives you a quality start, keeps you in the ball game, doesn't walk anybody, makes it tough on that other team.
So Tanner Roark at home over the years has been absolutely outstanding. 11-8, 2.67 ERA, 24 starts. Here he comes again at Nationals Park. Nationals baseball on MASN, brought to you by PNC Bank. For the achiever in you. By Ocean City, Maryland. Let us show you a good time in Ocean City, Maryland. Book now at ococean.com. And by American Standard Heating and Air. It's their all-star sales event with up to $1,100 in instant rebates or 0% APR for 36 months. Inside pitch, yeah, the Nationals magazine on full display right there. Here at the ballpark, the Washington Nationals are now 12-5 at home with another win today. Humidity is way up after all that rain we had late this afternoon that did not interrupt the game in 61 at game time. Martin Prado, 500th RBI in game 1 today. That came on a 7th-inning base hit. He has 51 of those against the Nats, but Washington controlled Giancarlo in that cleanup spot. That was a big reason for the Nats' 6-4 win. Here's Derek Dietrich to lead off the game. We'll set Tanner Roark in the defense for you shortly. Right on time at 7:05, a fastball up and away. And a swing and a foul by Dietrich. 1 for 5, a walk hit by a pitch in the series, and he was 1 for 4 in that leadoff spot today. Tanner, 14 career appearances against Miami. 2-6 with a 3.88 ERA. Trying to straighten out some of those numbers, and that's a breaking ball inside that hits Derek Dietrich.
For the Nationals on defense, little change. Matt Dendecker in the left, Revere in center, Heisey in right, Rendon at third, Drew at short. On the right side, Murphy and Robinson, Ramos behind the plate, and Tanner Roark on the mound.
Yeah, Wilson swinging a hot bat again, and he's in the cleanup spot tonight with a home run earlier this afternoon. Here's Martin Prado in the series, 1 for 8, an RBI, a walk. He's been hit by a pitch. Dietrich at first, pretty good lead. The Marlins don't do a ton of running with D. Gordon now suspended for a long, long time. They're 13 out of 20. The crew chief is Larry Vanover. He has the plate, 27 years in the big leagues. Roberto Ortiz made his major league debut at first base today. He's over at third. Target in on 1-0. Wilson Ramos has been getting help from his pitchers this year with runners going. He's at a 33% caught stealing rate now. Prado might be their pick to click tonight. He's 7 for 15 career against Tanner Roark. At the knees on the outer edge, and the Marlins dugout didn't like it.
Larry Vanover is a guy that, good umpire, he has a tendency to get over that inside shoulder, the right-handed batter's side shoulder of the catcher, and will sometimes start to lose the outside part of the plate a little bit. Let's see how he does tonight. See how far he is inside, almost off the edge of the plate inside. When I managed, he was one of the guys that hitters tended to complain about on the balls away. They would say, come back and say, that ball is a ball outside. That ball is 2 balls outside. Let's just see how he does as we get into this game.
Yeah, he gave Roark that call a moment ago. Rendon and Drew left side of the infield, back looking for a double play ball. Well, there's one of those out there and close.
That's what I'm talking about. You'll see that he's just not consistent on the outside corner. I hate to say that about an umpire this early, but the ball does move around out there a little bit.
And a 2-1 base hit. Tanner Roark has started twice against Miami this year. Each time he has given up 3 runs in the first inning.
He throws him a pitch, another fastball down and away, and he just gets it through that hole, making contact, making hard contact, not hitting very many balls in the air. Hit that ball in the air last night on a slider and didn't get it out of the ballpark. Hasn't hit a home run this year. Certainly a lot of base hits.
Yeah, he's trading the power for the high batting average. That puts him back up over 370. Here's Christian Yelich, who's 6 for 20 career against Roark, and he goes up hacking. He had a good first game today, homered first time up against Steven Strasburg. 4 innings later in the 5th, an RBI double opposite field off the wall over Jason Worth. Yelich sporting an on-base percentage of .439. Marlins are hitting .274 as a team, one of the top 4 batting average in the National League.
And Bob, I will point out that this is a tough draw for Tanner, as he's pitching the night side of a day-night doubleheader. All day to think about it. Don't know really when to get to the ballpark. You don't have those situations too often. Seems like he's straddled with those type of situations quite often. Somehow finds a way to make it happen, though.
Outside 2-1. Well, the Nationals are facing a rookie pitcher tonight who has thrown 13 innings in the big leagues. So important for Tanner to keep Miami from taking a big lead and let the Nats feel out Kendry Flores when he gets out there. Great off speed on 2-1. Obviously, Christian Yelich was geared up for something else.
Yeah, and that changeup was a little bit up. When you see it, when it's up, you see it a little bit better. But look how it drops off the table. Starts up, you think it's a fastball. You have a 2-1 count, free and easy swing. And he pulled a string on him.
Big pitch here. Crowd quiet. First inning. 3-2. And Giancarlo Stanton on deck.
.242.
Yeah, not nearly as high as his other numbers.
No, 328, as you mentioned, Bob, and 242. Not so good for a 3-hole hitter.
But he does walk almost as much as he strikes out. Stays alive there. 23 walks, 25 strikeouts for the 24-year-old outfielder Christian Yelich, who the Marlins signed through 2021. Former 2-time organization player of the year in the minor leagues.
He's a good one, and there's a man that he can learn a lot from. Barry Bonds. There's no shortage of hitting talent in that dugout.
Yeah, Bonds, Mattingly, great catch. And of course, Tim Wallach talked about him over there.
How about Lenny Harris, all-time leading pinch hitter?
Yeah, if any of those guys go 0 for 3, you bring Lenny in.
Yeah, bring Lenny in to talk to him.
Barry Bonds.
What a hitter. The best I ever saw.
Long first inning already. 3-2. Yelich having quite an AB here.
And Tanner throwing everything away. Not one pitch inside. Everything on the edge of the plate or off the plate.
Drilled to left. It's going to carry, and Matt Dendecker makes the play. Yelich unlucky. Hey, big news and congratulations to Mike Rizzo. His option was coming up next month, and the Nats have picked up a 2-year contract option that'll keep Mike Rizzo as the Nats GM through the 2018 season. So this year, the farm system ranked in the top 6. And way back in 12, when the Nats went to the playoffs, MLB Executive of the Year. Congratulations, Mike.
Yes, sir. What a great man, great baseball man. Came over here, assistant GM with a history in scouting, and he hit the ground running, boy, when he became the GM. There's nobody in the game I have more respect for. Just, you know, he trusts people. He makes sure that he gets the best people, and then he lets them do their job.
Here's Giancarlo Stanton. So they're on the shift. Murphy right behind the base runner, Derek Dietrich.
I saw him hit a couple balls last week up the middle. I saw him hit a ball the other night, right where the umpire's standing. You know, if you play a defense like this, you have to learn to sometimes, if you're going to play to pull, you got to pitch to pull, and that's dangerous. And what I mean by that, Bob, is, you know, if you play people away, you generally pitch them away. You play a guy in, it doesn't make any sense to pitch him away because now he's hitting right where there's nobody standing. So, you know, that sets you up for a – but I think you've got to pitch Giancarlo inside. You cannot let him extend. He'll hit the ball out in any part of this ballpark or any other part, including Yellowstone and Yosemite. And
so let me ask you this. As a hitter then, when you see the shift, do you tend to look inside a little more?
Well, I never saw the shift. I mean, they didn't shift like that back when we played. But I think there may be a tendency to think that they're going to try to bust you inside, and sometimes people just try to hit the ball right through the shift. You know, if you're a pull hitter, they're in the shift for a reason. That's where you hit the majority of your balls. That's where the charts show that you hit the ball. So they're just pitching based upon or playing based upon what your charts show. So I think that hitters just have a tendency to go ahead and look for the ball inside. And we've seen Bryce spoil it several times.
That's a tapper to first. Clint Robinson right to the bag, and that's a big out, even though the runners move up. So it was first and second, nobody out. Now it's second and third, 2 outs. And the Nats can sort of decide what they want to do here against the big, strong left-handed batter Justin Bour with right-hander Marcell Ozuna on deck.
Good point, Bob. You know, this is a guy that's, you just kind of have a free hitter here. You got a left-handed hitter, right-handed hitter next. You could take the pressure off the infield. If you get behind this guy, you can put him on or pitch around him, and then you got to force at either base.
And Bour gets under one and flies it to right. Murphy pointing up for Heisey. Chris has it, and Tanner Roark does something he hadn't done earlier. He has shut out the Marlins in the first inning, and that's big. In the first inning for Tanner Roark. The Nats are hitting .245. They've got their second game of the doubleheader lineup in there tonight. Bryce Harper is taking the night off as he will serve his suspension. We focus in on Wilson Ramos. He had his 4th home run of the season in the 6th inning today, and it was an absolute laser. A low screamer to left center, caught in the first row by a fan out in the red seats. And we'll see if some of these guys can get on. Ben Revere wants to get things going. And here is the rookie, 24-year-old right-hander, Kendry Flores. Second big league start. 13 innings, 16 hits, 8 runs, 7 earned so far. First time the Nats see him. And Ben Revere, 1 for 5 in the series. First up. Ben Revere had an odd night in the first game of the series last evening. A base hit first time up. Then he hit 4 consecutive ground balls to the second baseman. Did not appear this afternoon as Michael A. Taylor was fantastic on base 4 times. Way inside, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
A little bit about Flores, and I'm only going to be able to give you a little bit. He has been pitching since 17, was signed by the Giants, an international free agent back in 2009 as a 17-year-old. 7 games last year, only 12 innings. And Bob, 95 of his 106 starts have been in A-ball.
Originally signed by the Giants as a teenager. Came over with Luis Castillo in the Casey McGee deal. And it's a catch by Prado as Ben Revere hit it as hard as he can the other way. Martin Prado playing way off the line, able to spear that line drive.
It's a good sign, though. You mentioned him going 4-3. This is where you want him to hit the ball the other way. That's when he's going best, and he waits on that pitch. I think it was some type of off-speed pitch as you saw him hesitate just a tad, hit a bullet down there, and Prado reacting quickly and making a play.
Next up, Anthony Rendon. We saw some good trending from Anthony today, too. A base hit to left center and then a clean single through the right side. He also lined out hard to the second baseman. So staying on the ball, going the other way. One pitch. That ball driven to right, moving Stanton back to the edge of the track. Anthony Rendon appears to be locking some things in here. 2 outs, nobody on. So let's get it started. The Nats added 3 more runs in the first inning in game 1 today on sac flies by Murphy and Zimmerman. A base hit by Jason Worth. That was big. They went on to win 6-4. Murphy in the series, 2 for 8 with 1 RBI. How about 3 for 9? Daniel Murphy with another base hit, and that would be 55 hits on the year. He's amazing.
Just Daniel hits Murphy. We're just going to call him Everyday Dan. My gosh. He hits the ball almost 8 inches off the ground there. Still able to square it. He's just always going to make contact. He makes contact on the tough pitches. He doesn't always hit the ball the hardest, but it seems like it doesn't matter how tough they pitch him, he's able to hit those balls at borderline strikes, put them in play, foul them off. Some kind of impressive month and a half.
Very short lead by Murphy, and then it's way outside to Wilson Ramos. With his home run in Game 1, the Nationals now have 46 on the year. They've given up just 28.
When a guy throws 93, 94, 95 and has been around for 7 years and is still pitching in A-ball most of the time, AA, AAA this year, usually tells you that he does not have command of his breaking balls or his changeup. Doesn't walk a lot of people.
And this ball will get out of play. Let's have another look at that laser-like home run, Game 1. Rain coming down hard.
That was real loud. And maybe 20 feet high. Max. They always say you could hang clothes on that line.
Tell you, there was a crew chief review after that home run. Don Mattingly came out and requested it. Not a challenge, but the crew chief, Alfonso Marquez, for Game 1, took a look at it, ruled a homer. 2-2 pitch. Ramos high in the air, right side again. This one playable. Justin Bour near the line. And that ball kind of going away from him. Not much of a breeze here. Not sure what happened to Justin Bour at the end of that. But the Nats will strand Murphy. And after 1 inning, no score in the nightcap. Pre-game food festival at Nationals Park with a special ticket, bite-sized culinary delights for all, and entertainment from more than a dozen embassies. Take home a set of Nationals salt and pepper shakers May 28th. Well, we got some scary looking clouds rolling by, a lot of them off to the north, and it's a reminder early in the evening as you enjoy a cold one, look forward to Miller time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Long first inning for Tanner Roark, 22 pitches, 13 strikes, and he's missed inside to Marcell Ozuna.
Yeah, and of those 22 pitches, about 16 of them were on the third base side of the plate. That's what he wants to do. Start the ball on the outside part, work it back. A lot of movement early for Tanner. He's shown a penchant for that. Ball that runs back.
2-1 pitch. He jammed the hitter, and that's why it goes foul. Well hit by Ozuna, who's hit 6 home runs.
Yeah, throw it in there and let him hit it foul.
Ozuna keeps that hit streak going. Last night with 1 hit. This afternoon he went 2 for 4. Had base hits his last 2 times up. Off speed had him out ahead, but he still made contact.
So that's a great example of what do you do when a guy pulls a fastball foul, that far foul. Go right back in there with something soft. He hit that right off the end of the bat, corkscrewed it with a changeup.
Swing back fastball, that's well hit and trouble. into the right field corner. Long run for Chris Heisey. Ozuna to third. And a good relay throw is not in time. Ball fell out of the glove of Anthony Rendon.
It took it quite a while to come out of that corner, too. Let's see a better look at it. Let's take a look at this thing. It didn't look like, it looked like a double to me. There's not too many balls that go down that corner that are triples.
Heisey was playing pretty well off the line.
Yeah. With 2 strikes, you would think that he would shade Ozuna more to right, though. That ball's hit right there and stays right up against the wall, doesn't bounce out, and that's the difference.
Yeah. Marcell Ozuna with his 3rd triple of the year. So the Marlins have Tanner Roark off the stretch and in hot water again. This is JT Realmuto, who went 2 for 6 in the series so far. Had a pinch hitting appearance this afternoon. He pops it up. This is playable. Murphy's got an angle. Heisey coming in. Murphy can't get it.
Well, that's a run if he catches it.
Yeah, he was going away from home plate, and tagging at third was Ozuna.
You do always want to take the out this early in the game. You want to take the out, but the ball just kept blowing and blowing. A little breeze up there. Just couldn't quite get to it. Heisey once again playing a little bit more towards center field. I think the wind just kept carrying that. We can feel the breeze up here. Not a whole lot going on with the flags, but the ball just drift and drift when it's downwind.
Yeah, flags coming alive a little bit. Certainly more than they were just 1 inning ago. Chopper foul, 1-2. Yeah, that's the catcher who led off last night against Gio Gonzalez, the lefty. Derek Dietrich, as he is today, both games. Leads off against righties, and that's well inside. Tanner kind of searching for his command in the early part of this game.
Yeah, with mostly changeups and fastballs, only a couple of breaking balls thus far.
Well, those are ominous skies. Fortunately, they're off to the east already, those clouds. Blowing in that direction. And a 2-2. Breaking ball to third, it's foul. Mets are in Colorado again tonight. Logan Verrett on the mound for New York, and the Nats, by winning today, now have a 1.5 lead over New York.
Likes his fastball, 79%, 21% off speed. That can be curveball, slider, or changeup, as he possesses all 4 of those pitches.
2-2. Way out of here and way foul. Realmuto, 2 homers, 11 RBIs on the year. Hit 10 last year in his first full big league season, when he hit .259 at the age of 23. Ozuna, third base, nobody out. Tanner reached back for something extra there and threw it 94, but missed.
Just not going to get a lot of those pitches out there. We talked about it earlier. Just right off the edge of the plate, but wrong guy to get that call on.
3-2, nobody out. Breaking ball in the air. Here comes Dendecker. Runner tags and stops. And Matt Dendecker, a one-hop bullet to the plate.
Kid has some skills. Runs well, swings a bat, hits a fastball, and has a nice, accurate arm. Breaking ball, middle of the plate, hits it well to left field. Dendecker playing him shallow to start with, comes up, shifts his feet quickly, and just right on the money.
Big out, now the infield in. Contact man Miguel Rojas, the shortstop. And then the pitcher, Kendry Flores. Rojas, 1 RBI this year. He's 10 for 36. Jammed.
He is staying on that inside corner. That fastball is running 8 to 10 inches.
Dendecker, the deepest of the 3 outfielders. Boy, Espinosa, rather drew it short, really cheating in. That ball out of play to the right side. Just like that, 0-2.
Yeah, usually with a runner on third base, 1 out, infield in, they don't go on contact, because contact to an infield that's drawn in, you're out at the plate. With 1 out, they may try it, since the pitcher's up next, hoping that the direction of the ball takes the infielder left or right and make the play tougher at the plate. He's getting a really short lead over there, though.
Here's the 0-2.
And here's another one of those situations where if you do go on contact and the ball is right at an infielder, you stop right about that play ball emblem there and get in a rundown to allow the runner to get to second base.
Fastball a little bit high.
Tanner doesn't think he's gotten a pitch yet. That's about 4 close pitches. Looked like a strike to me, but let's check it out and see. Right at top of the strike zone.
Yeah, with Roark forcing Ramos to reach for that one, not getting the call.
But also to that first base side.
Wind really blowing to the right field corner. 2-2 with 1 out. Base hit. Marlins on top. They've had the lead in both games today early. And for Rojas, his 2nd RBI.
Well, he never got to the fastball. And then he throws him a breaking ball, which speeds up his bat. Gets a base hit right up the middle. He threw him the fastball in. He got jammed. Threw him the fastball away. He was late to the right side. And threw him another fastball up out away. He was pulling off of it. Didn't swing. He called it a ball. Then he throws him a slider at 82, and that allows him to catch up to it.
Pitcher looking to bunt, and not a very assertive attempt there. Flores has a big league hitter 0 for 1.
No, not assertive. He saw that hook and he said, well, I'm not.
And then not interested in the fastball.
Maybe he's looking for a walk.
Outfield shallow, around to the right. Rendon on the grass at third, even with 2 strikes. He still should be trying to bunt here. Pulls the bat back and he's out. A taken strike 3. Tanner Roark's first K of the night.
He didn't look like his heart was in this thing.
Oops.
A little inside maybe, or on the edge of the plate inside. You'll get that call. He's looking right over the shoulder. It's hard to miss that when you're staring right down the barrel at it.
Here's Derek Dietrich, hit by a pitch to start the game. Made it to third, but Roark got out of the inning after a base hit by Prado. There he is, bringing that curveball in from the outside. Fastball, and that is scorched into right. Heisey took a step in, and it goes right over his head. Heading for third, Rojas. Here comes the relay. He's there, and the hitter ends up at third. Miami leads 2-0 on a ball scorched by Derek Dietrich.
Toughest ball to read is the ball hit right at you, and Heisey hasn't been out there much. Gets a little late break on it, but that's a tough ball to read.
We got a double, third on the throw, and he's at third base with 2 outs. For the always tough Martin Prado, who had a base hit first time. So the Marlins already 5 base runners out of their first 10 batters.
2 triples.
One bouncing ball right side. Clint Robinson will take it to the bat. Marlins come up big. Couple of extra base hits. And after an inning and a half, they've roughed up Tanner some. Scherzer going to celebrate his first no-hitter last June with the first of 2 no-hitter bobbleheads presented by PNC Bank. May 23rd, first 25,000 fans receive piece number 1, Nats Mets that night. Visit nationals.com/tickets. Well, the skies are clearing. The nasty stuff has moved off to the east of us, but it is chilly.
It got chilly in a hurry, didn't it?
Wind has picked up here in town. It's supposed to be in the mid-40s overnight. Bottom of the second, here's Clint Robinson. 15 pitches, 10 strikes for Flores. First inning. Clint hitting .214. A couple of dramatic home runs for our ball club. One in St. Louis, one at home, the walk-off the other night. Big rip. Bryce Harper had just been tossed out of the game. And against the Tigers, it was close. Clint wasn't sure he got it. Then, of course, he thought it was the 8th inning, too. It's great to see the bench coming alive. Chris Heisey's been fantastic. Matt Dendecker again today, the 26th man on the roster, showing us his value. Called up for a day from Syracuse. Inside the numbers, brought to you by Jeep. St. Louis had one game this year when they had 3 pinch hit home runs. The Nats a couple last night. Pirates, Tigers. And it's amazing that Chris Heisey has 4 of those. Actually 3 for total home runs. And there's the base runner, Clint Robinson, aboard, leading off the bottom of the second. Next up, Matt den Dekker, and then Chris Heisey.
So far, I haven't seen where Kendry Flores is able to throw anything but the fastball for a strike. The 3 breaking balls that he's thrown haven't been close. The changeup was way low. See, as this game progresses, if he can get the breaking balls over. If not, we ought to start lighting him up the second time around.
Den Dekker showing bunt, getting Martin Prado on the move at third.
It's around 92, 93. For the most part, I did see 197 about 4 pitches ago. 2-2 pitch to Robinson. Saw 97 on the board.
Staying away from den Dekker, and a visit from JT Realmuto. It's Brian Schneider, our old friend in the background there. Helps the Marlins out with their catchers. One of the great glues to the Nats in the early days here in DC. That's a good baseball man right there. He's done some managing in the minor leagues the last few years. Den Dekker taking 3 in a row in the same location.
Boy, this reminds me of a lot of the young pitchers that I saw as a coach and a manager, and even as a player. He just kind of flails a little bit all over the place. Doesn't repeat his delivery.
Wow.
Sometimes he stands up, sometimes he's falling off the mound. Just hasn't been able to repeat his motion or his delivery.
Wandy Avis will go talk about some of those issues. This Heisey, he keeps on slugging, doesn't he? Pinch hitting in the 8th inning last night. And this would be a big run for the Nats, giving the bullpen an extra 1-run cushion. Watch how upright he is.
Upright, more leverage. Bill Robinson, hitting coach for the Mets when I was there, had me to stand a little bit more upright. Felt like that sometimes when you crouch, you have a tendency to come out of that crouch. Your eyes move and you uppercut the baseball or turn off the ball.
I remember Bill Robinson as the hitting coach of the Marlins.
Later.
And he's a guy who turned, remember Derek Lee?
I sure do.
Dead pull hitter, and
I sure do.
Robbie had him hitting the ball to right center in that big football stadium down there, and Derek Lee became one heck of an RBI guy.
Even at 33 years old, after being successful in the big leagues, Robbie had me to change a little bit, and it helped me.
Well, don't argue with Heisey. He's had great success here. Batting average up to 258 now. 4 home runs, 5 RBIs. Outfield plays him straight away. I mean, the takes have been easy in this inning.
Well, it's what you get with a young arm. You know, I'm sure Rick Shue is over there saying, hey, just think fastball. Get a good ball, but think fastball. He can't get his breaking ball over. Certainly hasn't shown that he can.
Yeah, don't help him out.
The ball was probably low right there.
And realistically, the Marlins are hoping for Flores tonight. It's 5 and dive.
Yeah.
If they can get him through 5 innings and be in the ball game, they'll be fairly happy. Heisey out to left, Sounded like he might have busted his bat. That's the first out. Now 8 and 9 coming up. Stephen Drew and Tanner Roark. And of course, Stephen Drew was part of that home run thing Friday night as well. Nats won that game 5-3. And every run was driven in with the long ball.
Stephen Drew put up some huge offensive years when he was with Arizona. He was a guy that would hit you 300 one year, 291. Unbelievable year in 2008. 44 doubles, 11 triples, 21 dingers, 80 extra base hits. That's serious for shortstop.
And at the time when he did that, 40 doubles, 10 triples, and 20 homers, only 2 shortstops in history had ever done that. Robin Yount a couple of times and Nomar Garciaparra.
Right.
With Arizona.
I say right. I didn't know that, partner. Thanks, thanks for that information.
Yeah,
I know a lot of folks hadn't done it.
That's fly out of lofty company right there. And now another 3-ball count. Tanner Roark could be batting with the bases loaded if Flores doesn't harness a thing or two here. That's low and the bases are loaded. 3 walks in the second inning. This afternoon's Miami starter, Justin Nicolino, walked Taylor, Rendon, and Harper to start the game, and the Nats ended up with 3 runs.
Donnie's not feeling real good right now. 2-0 lead. This kid on the mound, forced to come up here and start, getting called up.
Tanner Roark is looking for his first base hit of the season and maybe the second and third RBIs of his career. But he might take a couple. That's up in the zone, outside edge.
He took about 3-4 miles an hour off that fastball to get it over.
Roark up the middle, caught by the pitcher. He turned and all the runners stayed home. Well done by Robinson at third and Dendecker at second. 2 outs.
Really good base running here. It's a natural thing to take a step or two. If he had done that at second, Dendecker, he would have been doubled off, but he froze on a line drive. You've got to make the line drive go through. Bases loaded, 1 out.
Nationals had a handful of line drives caught in game 1 today. 3 of them already in this game, including Ben Revere, who hit one hard the other way, and Martin Prado caught it diving to his left.
Yeah.
First time up.
It's time for Ben to split that left center field gap.
And then see if he can catch someone.
Yeah, he can do it with the best of them, and let's see who we got at first base. He won't catch Steven. He'll gain on him, but he won't catch him.
2-0. His teammates just gave him a 2-0 lead. And this is pitch number 40 coming for Kendry Flores. And as you said before, took a little bit off and got the strike.
Perfect spot. Even here, 2-1. Ben, he really needs to keyhole him. Look in one little area and spit on it if it's not there.
Little bouncer, right side. Runner crossing in front of Derek Dietrich. And that is it. So the Nats strand 3. They have left 4 already in a 2-0 game.
Ben Revere about how not a lot of kids these days grow up playing multiple sports. Ben grew up playing baseball, basketball, and football, and actually got recruited to the University of Georgia to be on their football team. He told me that if it wasn't multiple sports growing up, he doesn't think that he'd make it to the big leagues. He said his athleticism and strength improved by playing multiple sports. His reads on balls in the outfield really improved by being a defensive back. And Ray, I know you were a boxer growing up. I don't know if your athleticism you feel like was bolstered by that as well, but Ben thinks that playing multiple sports really helped him in a lot of ways.
Yeah, my reflexes were getting out of the way.
Christian Yelich ground ball to Daniel Murphy. I know those boxing skills come to his advantage up here in the booth now and then. That's Dan with our Coons.com sideline report. Over 2 million vehicles sold and counting. Ben Revere, Lexington, Kentucky Catholic High School, a 2-time state player of the year. He lives in Richmond, right down the road there where Eastern Kentucky University is located, within the shadow of UK. Here's Giancarlo Stanton, a big out for Tanner Roark back in the first inning. High in the zone, 1-1. Stanton in this series, 2 for 10. That ball hit hard. There's a center fielder there, and I think the wind did a little bit to that. Might have had some knuckling action on Ben Revere. Quick reaction, 2 outs. Well, when the Nats win and win big, everybody wins at Papa John's. If they score 7 or more, you get 50% off online orders at papajohns.com. So that's promo code NATS50. Valid at participating DMV Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Official pizza pie of your Washington Nationals. Tanner's got some sink going on that fastball. A little bit low to Justin Bohr, who hit a fly ball to Heisian right with 2 men aboard, first inning. Murphy out there on the shift. Ball 2. Bohr game 1 today, 0 for 2, pair of walks. That ball has hit a ton to center. Revere going back, he's watching, and that is on the batter's eye. Justin Bohr's 6th of the year. Boy, he likes this ballpark. And Bohr in his career against the Nats has always hit well. Nissan will track the pitch.
2-0 pitch.
Ooh.
A little out away from him, and those big boys just love the ball out away from them. They get that extension. You know, when you're 6'4", you can cover to that line on the on-deck, I mean, on not the on-deck circle, but in the other batter's box. And he doesn't get cheated. And he takes a full hack up there.
So that Justin Bohr, 6th of the year, his 30th career home run. Roark throwing some good sliders to Ozuna here. Ozuna tripled on the right field line to get their rally going last inning. So Miami 3-5-0, Nationals 0-1-0. Fastball up. Tanner working quickly. It's only the 2nd home run he's given up. Two hops to Rendon. Anthony on the charge. That's it for the Marlins in the top of the 3rd, but Bohr hits one a mile to dead center. Big hitters coming up. Coverage of baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. Big Papi, 513 home runs and 19 triples, by the way. Jose Quintana of the White Sox, a 138 ERA, and he's a guy who keeps the ball in the park. And U.S. Cellular Field, south side of Chicago, is a home run hitter's park. Cubs won again today, 15 of 17 against the Central, and they have a 9-game lead over the Pittsburgh Pirates. 8.5 over St. Louis, who play later at L.A. Cubs are tearing it up again. 40 pitches, 20 strikes, first 2 innings for the rookie Kendry Flores. Rendon hit it well first time, lined out to Giancarlo Stanton for the second out of the game. Breeze blowing to right. Anthony's had a pretty good series. Couple of hits and RBI, 3 walks. Daniel Murphy behind him tonight, not Bryce Harper. And Bryce, by the way, on base 7 times in this series. 2 for 4, a homer, 2 RBIs, 5 walks. Murph in the 3-hole tonight. Off speed, and he left it upstairs.
He hung it. Maybe a little too much in. Predominantly fastballs.
Yeah, and you talked about having his location problems with some of the secondary pitches. Moving that heater around. Real Muto wanted that ball up and in, and he threw it right out over the plate.
Fastball away.
Not a bad 0-2 pitch.
See if he goes right back in there. If he wanted it in there before, he may go right back in there. Slider. Little cutter, little cut slider. He just can't throw the breaking ball over. He's having tough enough time locating a fastball.
2-2. Well, he's gone to nibbling, and now the count's full. Rendon, a swing and a miss on 88 away. First strikeout by Kendry Flores. Mercedes-Benz will track it.
Well, he tries to throw it outside part and gets it off the plate, and Rendon chases it a little bit. But when a guy's all over the place, sometimes those balls on the edge of the strike zone seem close to you. They seem like strikes because you're seeing so many different looks.
Off speed to Murphy. Now hitting .404 with a first inning base hit. He is just stubbornly refusing to go below 400. 3 for 9 in this series with an RBI.
86, that was something different there. Even the movement of that pitch, that ball moved like a changeup or splitter. It moved hard away from Murph.
He throws another one, 85. It
same pitch. See how it moves back?
Had some swing back movement to it.
That could be a little splitter.
Which we were not told he had.
No, but his changeup, if he's only throwing 91, the changeup isn't going to be 85. That's more of the changeup there at 82.
7 outs on 53 pitches so far. And Murphy reaching for that one. That was 88 into right field for Stanton. 2 outs. Wilson Ramos is next. Came in hitting .359. 258 career batting average. Wilson just couldn't hit for average at all last year, but he sure did a lot of damage with 68 RBIs on 109 hits. Set some career highs in games, RBIs.
What you're seeing, this guy is all over the place. Can't throw the ball same spot twice. But then when he does throw the ball over the plate, he has a lot of movement, and it's causing us to not be able to square it up. He's been behind everyone.
2-0 pitch. I think you made a great point a moment ago when you said when a guy's all over the place like this, pitches still off the corner look like strikes that you can do something with. I mean, barely over 50%. Ramos taking all the way.
How about that, 85 mile an hour? You know it's not a changeup, so he drops all the way to 85 to throw a strike. That's like a BP fastball there.
And there's Ramos fishing for what probably would have been ball 4. Kind of like Rendon's strikeout.
And that shows you what happens when you don't have any video on anybody or any film. Nobody knows anything about this kid. He hasn't been around. He's been in the minor leagues this whole time.
Ramos hits that one, but he didn't get it. Off the end of the bat, and Yelich has it. It's a 1-2-3 for the erratic but leading by 3, Kendry Flores. Recognition as well on this Saturday at Nationals Park. It's brought to you by DynCorp International, proudly serving our nation for 70 years. Thank you, Matt Dendecker and teammates. This one to the top of the 4th inning. 3-5-0 Marlins, 0-1-0 Nats. When will that blank flag be filled in? Representing World Series appearances by the Senators previously.
Why not 2016? Tanner needs a a short inning here to catch up. He's on a lot of pitches, 63. He needs about a 8-10 pitch inning to get back in line.
Bottom of the order here. Real Muto, fly ball to left first time. In the series, 2 for 7 for the young catcher. Will it be in the air long enough? And it's into the camera well. Dan Coco drawing a bead on that ball with a Buffalo approaching. Couple of good-looking fastballs. That jammed him. Rendon, interesting pickup there. It was close to the bag, and it almost looked like Anthony overran it. Made a last-second adjustment, 1 out.
I think what happened there, having made that play a few times, is that the ball is bouncing. Watch here, it's bouncing, and then it stays down and kicks a little bit toward the line. He catches it right at the end of his glove there, but it actually kicks back toward his left foot.
Not an easy play to make when you're
Not
just about
an easy play.
A full sprint.
That shows you he's got his head on the ball, both eyes on the baseball, because you don't see that if you take it for granted that that ball is going to maintain the same path that it's on.
Here's Miguel Rojas. Tanner's starting to command that fastball better. Rojas drove in their first run, RBI single up the middle 2 innings ago. Number 8 hitter. There's another heater. Now he's starting to get guys late. High pitch count, but as Ray said, a quick 4th inning would surely help.
Get him back in line.
Pitcher on deck.
60 pitches is a good number after 4. He wouldn't be too far off of that.
He went. I think the bat and his whole body went through the zone right there. And Tanner Roark gets his 2nd K of the night.
That's that deal where your body makes a swing as opposed to your arms. Watch here, his body's going so far that he can't stop the bat. The plane passes the front of the plate. That's generally what an umpire looks for, is somewhere near the front of the plate.
Well, let's see if Kendry Flores is better swinging than he is bunting.
This pinch
or
hitter.
Taking.
Pinch hitter, isn't it?
Yeah, Cole Gillespie. They're going to get 3 innings out of Kendry Flores, and that's it. We were told they were hoping for 5, but he is a young man who's worked out of the bullpen, so 59 pitches may be a lot for him. And it is Cole Gillespie. 1-for-1 career against Tanner Roark. Big breaking ball. Tanner Roark, there's the quick inning he was looking for. And for Roark, a 1-2-3 top of the 4th inning. The 4th inning of Nationals baseball is brought to you by the RAV4 Hybrid, all-wheel drive and unexpected performance. Visit buyatoyota.com tonight. Geico President's Race. Teddy won this afternoon, but he's in 4th place right there. We will edit and segue to the home stretch shortly. And look at Teddy and George. And it's Teddy by his eyeglasses. He sweeps the doubleheader.
Modern day miracle.
Not sure that's ever been done by a racing president. You talk about appearing in 2 ball games, not too long apart. Urena, 23 pitches in the 8th inning today when he gave up an unearned run, and now he's right back out there in the 4th inning of game 2. And we're being told now that Kendry Flores might have been taken out because of some sort of injury problem.
That might be the reason why his fastball went from 94 to 85.
And to me, that doesn't sound good.
No.
Jose Urena, 24 years of age, from the Dominican. Here's Clint Robinson, who walked his first time up. Robinson, 1 career plate appearance against the right-hander, and it was a base on balls. Two and 0. 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, 1 hit, 3 innings of scoreless pitching by Kendry Flores. Mets underway at Colorado, did not score, top of the 1st. Strike 2. You can hear the gusts of wind ripping through the ballpark. That's a foul ball as Robinson hit it hard. Another 2-2 pitch. And this is a slow roller. That's the shortstop on the shift. Miguel Rojas approaching that ball for a 6-3. When you have insight, you know how to handle your finances with confidence. Brought to you by PNC Bank. For the achiever in you, we'll check in on a couple of single-A Hagerstown Suns. 22-year-old righty Andrew Lee, great ERA. Striking guys out, getting decisions, and Max Schrock, who plays right behind him at shortstop, hitting a healthy .323. Suns shining brightly up in Hagerstown. Dendecker is next. Matt 2 for 4 against Urena. Reached on an error in the mud, I might add, this afternoon. And now he's hit by a pitch, so he's aboard with 1 out.
Throws him a slider and it just doesn't get on top of it, doesn't finish it off, hits him in the right shoulder. Matt just taking it like a man on first base.
Now the Nats have been given 4 base runners in this game without hitting the ball. Heisey fly to left first time.
Bob, how many pitches did Urena throw the last. He pitched the 8th.
Yeah, 23 pitches in game 1 today. So I mean, he's making relief appearances. What, 3 hours apart?
Yeah, and that's not an easy. Call there for a manager to make. He is a starter by trade. He's started 9 games for the Marlins in the big leagues, but all through his minor league career he was a starter, so they need a guy to bridge the gap here. This is one of those, if we do have an injury with Flores, one of those things that you don't really plan for as a manager.
Big time rip there by Heisey. The Marlins have a 7-man bullpen. Don Mattingly, no lefties.
That's hard to manage in the big leagues without a left-handed pitcher. It just makes it so easy for the manager to match up against you, and saving those left-handed bats.
Marlins now 1 game over 500. Nats are trying to win their 4th in a row. 2-2 pitch. Heisey to the gap in left center. Dendecker is flying around second into third, and it's a corner situation with 1 out that gets Stephen Drew up there and a chance to get right back in it.
Nice stroke.
Chris Heisey 2 for 3 in this series.
Well, he throws him a fastball. Ball moves out away from him. He hits it just a little bit on the end of the bat, but certainly line drive. The ball bounces behind because of the soft turf there, and Dendecker easily coast into third.
I'll tell you, Matt Dendecker, he gets himself in the middle of everything as soon as he steps off the plane and reports back to the big club.
He's a player. I really like watching him play.
Stephen Drew, fly ball to left. Yelich, kind of flat-footed underneath it, and here comes Dendecker. The throw is short and late, and the Nats are on the board. Stephen Drew gets it done for his 5th RBI. 3-1 game.
Situational hitting. Gets a ball that he can hit in the air, lifts it in the air. Good throw by Yelich, but good speed on third base. Took him a little time to make that transfer. You want to get behind that ball and be moving, catch that ball over your right shoulder. He's saying, I just turned off of it just a little bit.
Here's Tanner Roark, who lined out to the pitcher first time. He'll bounce to the third baseman, Prado. And that's it for the Nationals in the 4th. But a hit batter, a single by Heisey, and a Drew sac fly. It's now a 2-run game after 4. set up that runner at third for the scamper home by Dendecker. Celebrate Max Scherzer's historic 20 strikeout game with a $20 lower level ticket tomorrow. Yeah, it's good till tomorrow. Visit nationals.com to purchase tickets and use coupon code the word 20 at checkout. Top 5, Tanner Roark against Derek Dietrich, who's been on twice. A hit batter and a double for an RBI. Took a little bit off the change up outside, 2-0. Dietrich is from Cleveland, Ohio. Went to Georgia Tech. A lot of great major league talent out of there, and I guess that was high. 4-pitch walk. Steven Strasburg today, not at his absolute best. Got enough run support, Ray, and he kind of labored a bit through 104 pitches in 6 innings.
He did. Still had the breaking ball going. The changeup was good. Didn't locate as well, but hey, the great ones, they work through it. They get wins. They're able to make pitches when they have to. And he garnered his 6th win on the season.
Yeah, when you don't have your best stuff and you're 6-0.
Let's give it 3 runs.
Pretty strong. Goes down statistically as a quality start. Strasburg's ERA went from 2.76 to 2.95. Here's Martin Prado, 1 for 2 today, at least in this game. And 2 for 10 in the series, and that'll spin him out of there.
Been trying to watch Tanner's front shoulder. He's had so many balls as he's left to the third base side of the plate, and sometimes when that shoulder spins, it lays your arm off and you end up not finishing. The ball runs in on right-handed hitters, but he doesn't look like he's spinning off to me. He looks like he's square to the plate. That ball sure is running off the plate inside.
One ball, one strike.
That's a good shot there. He is striding square to the catcher. So just maybe one of those days when just his hand is not quite getting on top of the ball and allowing it to come off the inside of the fingers and causing it to run a little bit more. Change up maybe?
Tough hitters coming up. Yeah, change up. Look at Prado go the other way. Guy's a hit machine when they play the Nats. 2 for 3 in this game. First and second, nobody out. Yelich and Stanton, the next 2. And we're told that a problem with his right shoulder has taken Kendry Flores out of the game, and he's day-to-day.
Yeah, he did not hit that ball very hard. Fortunate for him, most of it was line drive, and it never got on the ground to slow it down. That's why Daniel couldn't corral it there. He just flipped it, flicked it. It only hit about 2 yards short of the ground, therefore it didn't slow down at all.
The Nats just scored, and now the Marlins have a chance to put a big stamp on this game. Up by 2, 5th inning. Yelich and Stanton the next 2, and possibly Justin Bour. Strike call.
I've always felt that guys like Prado, you're kind of doing him a favor to go off speed with 2 strikes because he's just trying to make contact anyway. And when he's in a hole with 2 strikes, he's not going to do anything but sit there and just react. So the softer you throw it, he's not going to get fooled by it too. He was fooled a little bit, but still, I think you're better off with a guy like him with 2 strikes going really hard and burying it inside on him because he does not like to strike out.
Well, you made a good call this afternoon. He's kind of like a right-handed Murphy.
Oh, he is. Yeah, he very much so.
A hit collector. That's outside, 2-1.
Even his changeup is fading. I wonder if the wind has anything to do with that. I mean, the wind will affect the ball at the plate. That would mean it would be blowing in from right field. It seems like it's still kind of blowing across, doesn't it?
It is. 2-1. That's upstairs.
He just has not been sharp all day. He's a guy that throws about 70% strikes, and he's in the low 60s range right now.
3-1. On a play left side by Yelich, who has hit a fly ball to left and a ground ball to second.
This is another guy that likes the ball out away from him. You can tell by his approach there. 2-2, he ends up fouling the ball off. A 3-1, he fouls the ball off to left field when he's ahead in the count. Better off belting him inside. Now, out there, you're not going to do anything with him. That's just his natural stroke. Not even trying to pull the ball, just sitting there reacting, thinking left center field. When a guy had a great changeup, a right-handed pitcher, a left-handed pitcher had a great changeup, I'd sometimes think fastball down the right field line just to make sure that I stayed back on the off-speed pitch.
Bases loaded, nobody out. 2 walks around a single.
See, let's talk about something for a minute, Bob. There you go, to me, just as a hitter. He throws a fastball, he fouls it off, way back over here. Now, he's late on the fastball, so why do you go to a changeup? Because if you're already late on the fastball and they throw you the changeup, that's sitting right there for you. Mm-hmm. You would think that, or we were taught, that if you...
Oh, that's big. Stanton pops up on the first pitch. Infield fly rule in effect, 1 out. And Ray, I haven't been between the lines like you have, but when I see a guy throw a 3-2 changeup, that means to me he's trying to get a ground ball double play. Hey, it's a great pitch if you execute it and it happens, but I see your point exactly.
Well, what's wrong
because
with
you got a guy late for
double
fastballs.
Play? I mean, you're just feeding right into a guy that's swinging late.
Yeah.
You know, and I understand that, but you throw the pitch that you can best locate, but when a guy's fouling the ball down the left field line, you're talking about reading the bat barrel. If he's late on the fastball and you throw him the changeup, he's going to be on time with the changeup. Now, if he's way ahead of the changeup, that's one thing. But we were taught, and I was drafted as a pitcher, and I always listened to the great pitchers talk. When a hitter is hitting the ball the other way and just with ease, then the best thing to do is to crowd him.
Slider inside to Bour, who hit a long home run to the batter's eye. The artificial turf out there on the hill in center field last time up. Prado at second. Yelich behind him, Dietrich ahead of him. Bases loaded, 1 out, 5th inning. And a pop-up straight back over the screen.
Now here's a guy that tries to pull the ball. So, ideal guy for soft. Away. Short on the plate. Because he's roaring at the ball.
All right, let's see the pitch selection on 1 and 2. Fastball up, and Bohr totally leaves the strike zone.
Outstanding.
Strikeout number 4 by Tanner Roark, taking him right up the ladder on the Nissan pitch track.
Yeah, how many times you see guys strike out on high pitches? A lot. It's just a tough pitch to lay off of. Your eyes see it so well because it's so close to your eyes. And coming off of a changeup, we mentioned a little bit about muscle memory. You think soft and he goes hard, elevates it, can't catch up to it because you're reacting.
Here's Ozuna now. Triple right field line, ground ball to third. Fastball way inside.
Max showed that the other night as he struck out about 6 guys on fastballs. Running up. He can't catch up with that pitch.
Yeah, what's that famous line from the baseball movie about the high fastball? Can't hit him, can't lay off him.
Right.
Fairly quick 3rd and 4th innings for Tanner. He's been battling. If he can keep it 3-1, that'd be something here in the middle of the game. To the outside edge on 2-1 with an off-speed pitch. Ozuna all geared up for the heater.
Oh, that's a sweet changeup right there, isn't it? Just dotting an eye out there on that outside edge.
2-1 with 2 outs. Up the middle. Base hit. 2 runs will score. A play at third, but the throw way offline from Ben Revere. And that enables the batter to end up at second. So Ozuna drives in 2. Dietrich and Prado scoring, and just like that, the Marlins lead by 4. Had a ground ball, but it was perfectly placed. And the walks led to that.
Middle of the plate, working back after seeing that pitch that was filthy away, and comes back with just a pitch that center cut. Didn't hit it hard, but hit in the right spot.
Revere had a shot at third, but that was about 20 feet off line. Here's Rio Muto 0 for 2, and the Marlins lead 5-1. Out hitting the Nationals 7-2.
Now, a lot of managers here, you're 5-1. You're trying to stay in this ball game, and Dusty has nobody getting loose out there. So he's just leaving it up to Tanner. He's at 102 or 3 pitches.
Yeah, 103 right now. Three and 1. Tanner has walked 2 men in this inning. Hit a batter, almost hit a couple of others. And a rough outing after pitching pretty well in Chicago. Has a good run back fastball. Might be his best one of the night right there as far as location. These Marlins put the ball in play. There's another one. Could be 2 more runs. Yelich home. Ozuna. That throw offline. And the batter ends up at second. 7-1 Miami with a 4-run 5th inning. Now you've got to get the bullpen working.
Well, they've been going right back up the middle, and this pitch is a fastball right back up the middle, and you got to start hitting your cutoff men. There's Robbie. The ball's not even near the cutoff men. if you hit the cutoff man, then he can make a decision to cut the ball and disallow all these runners to just walk into second base.
Well, and the previous play, Ray, got the batter on a single to second base, and that's Ozuna who just scored that run. So now it's down to the number 8 spot. And to the mound, Mike Mannix trying to bide some time for Sammy Solis. Miguel Rojas will be the 8th batter in this inning. This featured 2 walks, 3 hits, and 2 errant throws from center field.
For the most part, we've been real good at hitting our cutoff men, or at least having them have a chance to cut the ball. But you just can't have a merry-go-round out there.
Jose Urena, who right now is the pitcher of record for Miami, will come in and hit. 1 plate appearance this year, a sacrifice. In his career, 1 for 13 with no RBIs. Now this matches the biggest inning allowed by the Nats this year. They've never given up more than 4 runs in an inning. Ball 1. Ninth man to bat. Counts even. Mets and the Rockies have traded early runs. Second inning in Colorado, 1-1. That's a called third strike, and the inning is over. But Miami scores 4 on 3 hits and 3 walks. Revere to lead off. With the bats, and it's a long, long way to climb back into this one. Out hit 8-2, outscored 7-1. Time for our Freight Railworks do-ups. Bottom of the 5th. And what they've done career against the Marlins, Ben Revere just under 300. Anthony Rendon about the same, lots of RBIs. Daniel Murphy 9 long balls. So they can only hope that Jose Urena, who's now thrown 38 pitches in this doubleheader in relief, will have kind of a flat 5th inning and get this thing going. 15 pitches, 10 strikes when he gave up that run in the 4th. And Revere having a rough night. 0 for 2. Hit the ball really well first time up, robbed of a hit. Four for 36 as a National. Only playing in his 9th game, so this is probably the end of spring training for him. That's a soft line drive caught. 1 out. Rendon and Murphy, the next 2. How about a Bud and Burger pack presented by Budweiser? It'll have to be on the next homestand because it's Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. You get a game ticket plus a beer and a burger starting at $35. Some restrictions apply. Visit nationals.com/Bud and Burger. Rendon, a liner to right and a swinging strikeout. Anthony, 3 walks in this series, 2 base hits and RBI. And then 97 gets in on you in a hurry, especially when he throws it about 6 inches off that plate. 2-2. See what he throws after that attention-getting fastball. Slider away. Vanover frozen. I thought the pitcher was reacting like he had a strikeout. And it's a full count. Base runners needed. Bottom of the 5th. There's one. Good at bat by Anthony Rendon. That's the 4th walk the Nationals have been handed by the Marlins in the nightcap. Murphy is next. Murphy lets out a yell. He thought he was going to get hit in the foot with that. We've heard him emote on close pitches in the batter's box before. I just had no idea how much passion and joy he played the game with. That ball's hit really well. Ozuna back there, though. He'll get behind that throw and wing it in. When he turned his back and started going back, you kind of thought Murphy had hit it far enough. 2 outs. Next up, Wilson Ramos.
I'm with you, partner. I didn't know that he played the game with that much passion. I mean, I know he swung the bat with a lot of passion, but just watching Daniel play day in and day out and the way he goes about his business, even in his interviews, he's dead serious.
Yeah.
Takes this stuff seriously, boy.
He's as good a student of the game as we've had on this ball club. That's a great swing out to center by Wilson Ramos. Heading for third and making it over there, Anthony Rendon. Ramos' second hit of the doubleheader, and a big chance for Clint Robinson to take a bite out of that deficit.
Nice read by Anthony. He knows it's wet out there. He knows this ball is a jam shot. He knows when it hits the ground, it's just going to die. He gets a good jump. Never any doubt in his mind is he going to third base. Strong arm.
Yeah, Ozuna's got a great arm. Clint Robinson, a walk and a ground ball to the shortstop, and that's Rojas playing on the right field side of second base right now.
We've seen Clint hit the ball right where the umpire is at second base. He actually hits the ball pretty good the other way.
Left-handed Dendecker on deck. 2-0.
Get him up there with the bases loaded and get us right back in this game.
Two and 0, and that's popped up to left for Christian Yelich. Nationals get a couple of base runners. They've stranded 7 in 5 innings. And in the nightcap, it's the Marlins in control of this one.
In relief now. Solis had a special moment recently on the Nationals road trip to Wrigley Field in Chicago. Solis's dad, Bob, was raised in Chicago, is a huge Cubs fan, now a Nationals fan too. And Bob surprised Sammy at Wrigley Field the first game of that series. Solis actually got on the mound in that game, faced one batter, retired him, called his dad after the game and said, "Hey, Dad, did you see me? I pitched today." His dad said, "Yeah, I saw you. I'm here at the ballpark today." He got to meet up with his dad on the field very quickly, took a picture with his dad, who then had to fly home right afterwards. But a very special moment for Sammy and his dad, for Sammy to take the mound in the ballpark that he grew up watching games at with his father.
Very cool. Thank you, Dan, with our Coons.com sideline report. Over 2 million vehicles sold and counting. So here's Sammy against the top of the order, Derek Dietrich, for the Fish in the top of the 6th. Sammy Solis, born in the Midwest in Minneapolis. Went to high school in Arizona. And the Nats took him out of the University of San Diego in the second round, 2010. Dietrich's had a perfect night, hit by a pitch, RBI double, a walk and a run. He's their go-to guy at second base now, with D. Gordon out for half the season, suspended. So Tanner Roark, 114 pitches, 67 strikes, 8 hits, 5 runs, actually 7 runs in 5 innings, 3 walks, 1 intentional, 5 strikeouts. That's about to try to chip away and blast their way back in this the last 4 innings. 3-2 pitch. Big curveball. See ya. Great pitch to Dietrich.
The old equalizer, 3-2 hook.
Mercedes-Benz will go right around the corner with it.
Yeah, right around the corner. This kid has good stuff. What a future he has. See the hitter there? He just gave up on it. Fool, thinks the ball's high, quits on it, and it breaks late. That's happened to me a few times.
Here's Martin Prado. One-for-one career with a walk against Sammy Solis. Late for the heater. Ball drifting toward the seats. Where do you start on the Miami box score? I guess with the RBIs. Rojas single, bottom of the second, followed by a Dietrich double. Long homer to dead center by Justin Bour in the third. Nats made it a 3-1 game, but then everything fell apart in the fifth. Couple of walks. They had bases loaded with nobody out, and Tanner got Stanton and Bour. But then Ozuna, the real breakout hit of the day, that single up the middle. And then Real Muto drove in too. 7-1 Miami. 3-2 with 1 out. And a walk. Fourth walk given by the Nats tonight.
Stanton's had a rough day. 3 Ks in the first game, 0 for 8 for the doubleheader.
Yeah, and in the series, 2 for 12. So the Nationals have controlled the big fella so far. So he's on deck with Christian Yelich stepping in. Yelich 2 for 2 against Solis with an RBI.
Really like Solis's delivery. It's just compact. Stays over the mound, doesn't overstride, everything's in balance. Seems that it just, almost like it's a replay, throws his fastball, change, and curveball all from the same spot.
Went soft and it stayed up and in, 2-1. Up the middle, Drew to Murphy, and he pulled Robinson way off the bag. Should have been 2 to end the inning.
Yeah.
And now they have to face Stanton.
Sometimes we make it a little harder than we have to. This is routine. Flip it, and he comes so hard across the bag. There's nobody there. He's not going to be there. All you have to do is catch the ball on the bag, stay there, and throw it, because the ball too close to the bag for the runner to get even close to you. You can use that bag for protection too.
Stanton up the middle. Either deflected on a kick saved by Solis or hit the mound. Not a great throw by Murphy, and Robinson digs it out to save a longer inning in the 6th, but Sammy puts a 0 on the board. Here's our Mercedes-Benz game summary, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of Arlington. Just Mercedes.com. So you saw it. Good hitting by the Marlins. Rough 5 innings for Tanner Roark. And now, Dendecker. He's been on twice. Urena's 31st pitch fouled away. 1 ball, 1 strike. That got some action in the first game. Reached on an error that was in the mud to Dietrich on a hard ground ball. Scored a run in the 8th, a big one for the Nationals. It was an add-on run, and they won that game 6-4 behind Strasburg, who's 6-0, and Jonathan Papelbon's 11th save. Off speed, 2-2. Nationals in their 37th ball game of the year. And that's up and away, 3-2. With that win today, 10 games over 500. Here's some numbers from Jeep, about 36 games into the season. Best ever, 1 game better than the division winning year of 2012. Dendecker slaps it the other way. Backhand Prado. Sets himself and throws out Matt by a step.
Great start by this ball club. Just has shown time and time again that they can hit in the clutch, solid defensively.
Yeah, and they're doing this, Ray, batting .245. They've been in the bottom 5 in batting average the whole season, but scoring enough runs. Mets, by the way, trailing at Colorado 2-1, 3rd inning. Heisey goes up hacking.
Well, I've heard Dusty say that you get all these guys hitting, it's going to be a fun summer. And, you know, when he says all of them, you're not talking about 8 of them. You're talking about 4 of them, 3 or 4 of them.
At a time, yeah.
At a time. And then they cool off and the next 3 or 4 get rolling.
And then because you've used your bench a lot, Heisey, Robinson, Dendecker, Drew, when Matt's at the major league level, all those guys ready to contribute.
Well, that's what you have to look at on a day like today. People look at the lineup and they say, gosh, we only have a couple of guys playing that played the first game, Rendon and Murphy and Ramos, 3 guys. But it's going to pay dividends maybe tomorrow or the next day for these guys that pinch hit and come off the bench. Even getting to play defensively makes a difference.
Heisey, base hit last time, hit it hard that time. Prado cuts it off, 2 outs. Stephen Drew, nobody warming in the bullpen. So Sammy Solis in a 7-1 game could get a chance to hack if Drew gets aboard here.
He will, because you just do not want to use anybody else if he feels good, and certainly has not thrown very many pitches. He was a starter for a long time, so you can stretch him out 3 innings, possibly. This is where you really earn your money managing, making the decisions that protects your ball club for tomorrow. Saves that bullpen. That man isn't going to panic.
1-1.
He has just, I mean, everything that he's done has been right on this year.
Well, remember Monday, Dusty said, I'm not going to panic with my lineup because of what happened in 3 days in Chicago. Then all he does is go out and his team goes 4 out of 5 this week. 2 out of 3 from the Tigers, first 2 against the Marlins. He said, I've been doing this a while.
Yes, he has.
2-2. And Ray, you know, because you manage in a great baseball town called Cincinnati, when things don't go right, everybody in town is managing your ball club.
Sometimes when they go right, they manage your ball club. But, you know, that's what's so great. Everybody, and I was talking to someone last night over dinner about what happens with people in baseball, because every kid plays baseball in the Little League and they feel like they know what to do. They know what's going on, but Dusty's made a living out of doing it.
Yeah, the game is a little quicker at this level.
Yeah, just a tad.
3-2. Drew battling. Hits it fair. 2 hops. And board to the pitcher. Nationals go 1-2-3. In the bottom of the 6th inning in the nightcap, it's all Marlins. 7-1. One 3-0. Nationals. Justin Bohr, a Virginia guy. And we have a Miller time moment like we promised you in the ball game earlier. It's all brought to you by Miller Lite. Watch this blast.
2-0 fastball. He goes away from him right in his wheelhouse, right out there on that batter's eye, maybe 15 feet up on it, which would make it about a 425-foot home run.
Westfield High School in Chantilly, went to George Mason. And he wasn't going to play first base in Chicago because of a guy named Rizzo who they got in a trade from San Diego. So Justin Bohr was a Rule 5 pickup by the Marlins from the Cubs. Cubs had drafted him back in '09 in the 25th round out of George Mason. 1 for 3 with that home run in the series. 1 for 5. Bouncing ball. Murphy out in right field. So the shift gets him. Next up, Ozuna, who's had a big game. Sammy Solis gets some outs. Potomac Nationals back in town. We'll tell you about their giveaways late in the month. On the 27th, Lucas Giolito t-shirt. On the 28th, Bryce Harper MVP bobblehead. And on the 29th, Bark in the Park. 703-590-2311. PotomacNationals.com.
That's a nasty hook.
Yeah, even to a right-hander, huh?
Yeah, it looks like it goes up. As a hitter, you think it goes up and then it just yaks. Yeah, even to a right-hander, because it's boring in on you. You've got
it's interesting. I never heard of a curveball that seems to be going up, huh? Interesting sensation.
Yeah, well, out of the hand, a true curveball to a hitter looks like it comes up. The trajectory, like it just kind of got a little hump in it, a little loop in it, as opposed to going downhill with a fastball. I guess you have to be there, partner.
I mean, these kids have such live arms now. Sammy, a 50-50 proposition with the heater and the off speed. And a 1-2 to Ozuna. Chops it foul. Another defensive swing.
Man. See, this is what you need to watch when you're in the dugout or in the bullpen. When you see a guy like that take that kind of defensive hack on a fastball in on him, you know that he wants the ball away.
Nasty hook, a foul tip.
That's filthy.
Ramos held on.
That's filthy. Watch this ball. See what's here. See that little loop that it looks like it comes out of his hand? Looks like it goes up a little bit, and he just ate him up on his thumbs with the fastball in, and he throws him one of those shoe top drops.
I've never heard that before. That's a good one. Outside to Real Muto, who's 0 for 1 career against Sammy. 2-run single last time that capped off the Marlins' 4-run 5th inning that put him up 7-1.
Well, he gets his hand right on top of the baseball, and that causes, just like pulling down a window shade, he rips the seams of that ball, and it just causes so much rotation that it can't help but to break.
Tries to bring it back from the outside.
Didn't quite finish that. A little lazy with his arm on that. Not lazy in the fact that lazy, but just didn't quite get it out front.
2-1 pitch. Here's another right-handed batter late for the heater.
Well, you just don't know how many hitters you can get out inside if you keep pounding it in there. Because if you hit it hard, you hit it foul. If you get the ball in, unless you can inside out it. I like the way he pitches. Just not afraid to throw inside.
(3-2). Challenge fastball at 94.
They can't get to it. Can't get to it in there. And then that does make his curveball so effective, because eventually no hitter likes to get hit down around the label, and your pride makes you get the bat barrel out and you strike out on a breaking ball like that.
There he goes. 1-2-3 for Sammy Solis with a couple of strikeouts. Time to stretch in the nightcap. The Nats need 3 big innings offensively, down by 6. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of the Washington Nationals. Nationals Park, bottom of the 7th. Nightcap of a doubleheader. And every time the Nats hit a home run this year, $250 to the Children's National Health System. And that's thanks to our Washington, D.C. Lexus dealers. The pursuit of perfection for the Nationals' 46 home runs so far this year. And here's David Phelps, 29-year-old right-hander, former Fighting Irish pitcher in Notre Dame. And he'll take on the number 9 spot. Sammy Solis will be hitting against him, and then the top of the order. Chris Johnson takes over at first. So that means a double switch. He'll be batting 9th. Not bad wood on that one.
Pretty good swing.
Sammy Solis, as a big league hitter, is now 1 for 3. Here comes Ben Revere.
Bob, I think you had mentioned Ben and all the ground balls he's hit to second, and last game he hit
4 of them.
What, 4? And then I actually checked back. He has hit 88% of the balls that he's made contact with to the right side. And that's just not him. He's a middle left center field hitter. Uses the ball. He always gets a lot of infield hits by going the other way and hitting the ball in the hole to the shortstop and beating it out. So you mentioned just a little while ago, I didn't respond about spring training. He definitely is still in the spring training mode.
Yeah. There's a bouncer to the left side, and that'll cause the shortstop to hurry. But he hit it hard, and Rojas takes care of it with a little problem. 2 outs. Ben Revere in this series, 1 for 9. Not a whole lot in the box score. We have to go to the 4th inning. Dendecker hit by a pitch with 1 out. Heisey singled him to third with a drive to left center, and then Stephen Drew a sac fly to left. At that time, it was a 3-1 game. But the Marlins picked up 4 runs on just 3 hits in the 5th inning.
And we mentioned those 3 hits, all 3 singles. We've only hit 5 balls hard this whole game.
Anthony Rendon trying to get Daniel Murphy to the dish here in the 7th. Fastball. Looked quicker than 93 from right-hander David Phelps. Rendon 1 for 3 career against him. Murphy 6 for 13. So there's hope for this inning if Anthony can get aboard. 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. By the way, 3 pretty solid innings out of the bullpen for Jose Urena. 2 hits, a run, a walk, 48 pitches, and he stands to get the win. As Flores, their starter, only went 3 innings. Rockies have picked up 3 runs, and they're still batting in the bottom of the 3rd, 5-1 over Logan Verrett and the Mets. There's Urena, who had 3 pretty good innings.
I don't care what kind of team the Rockies have. They're always hard to beat out there, aren't they?
It's just a different place.
Yeah. Somebody called it arena baseball.
And they can't make the walls any further away because then everything would drop in. I mean, guys play so deep in Colorado, there's a lot of bloop singles and doubles. 3-2 pitch. Rendon, good at bat. He's aboard for Murphy. Anthony walking for the second straight time. Hey, even ground balls carry well in Colorado. They get through that infield so fast.
They do.
We'll worry about that later in the summer, but right now the Mets are plenty worried about it. There's Murphy with another chance for his 19th multi-hit game. Marlins have pitched him pretty well in the series. He's 2 for 7. Pardon me, I was looking at Wilson Ramos' numbers right behind him. Murphy in the series, 3 for 11 with a run batted in. Can't believe he's batting under 400. Shortstop went one way, the ball went the other, and that should be a hit as Rojas tried to catch a spinning baseball on the backhand side. Official scoring in this series has not been too hitter friendly.
Well, man spins around on the backhand trying to catch the ball. If he doesn't give him a hit there, but see how he just goes with the pitch. Ball hits him in the heel, but there's not anything you can do on that. That ball's hit hard.
And they give him a single. So Murphy 2 for 4, 19th multi-hit game, and he's back over 400. Wilson Ramos 1 for 3 tonight.
It's okay if you leave, Wilson.
As in ball leaving yard?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ramos against Phelps, 1 for 4. Well, you were hoping Murphy could get up there. He's 7 for 14 now. Career against David Phelps. Phelps was with the Yankees for a while, so Murph got to see him every year in interleague play. Second year with the Fish. Went to high school in the St. Louis area, about 10 miles from where Max Scherzer did. 1-1 pitch. Ramos rams one to right. Ball slicing away. Giancarlo Stanton with a fantastic play. Not a tight ball game at 7-1, but he just saved 2 runs and maybe thwarted the comeback attempt of the night for the Nats. Giancarlo not hitting that well in this series, but that's a fantastic play. Looked like Wilson Ramos had a couple of RBIs right there, but it remains a 6-run game. Into the 8th inning, Kia in the driver's seat. And Ray, you've been marveling at some of the stuff by Sammy Solis.
Hook to Dietrich. Ball off of his foot, Stanton. And then look at these breaking balls here to Osuna, and then down and dirty to Realmuto. Mike Maddox asking him as he came in, nice job, kid. How you feel? Gonna send you out there for one more if you got it in you.
8th inning. Sammy, 33 pitches, 20 strikes through 2 innings. Miguel Rojas, Chris Johnson, and Derek Dietrich here. 8, 9, and 1 for the Fish in the 8th. And a bounce at a short ball came up on Stephen Drew, 1 out. Toyota case for kids. Tanner Roark had 5 strikeouts. Sammy Solis has 3. And every time there's a K by a Nats pitcher, the Washington area Toyota dealers donate $37 to the Children's Inn at the National Institutes of Health. Thanks to our DC area Toyota dealers. Case for kids. Here's Chris Johnson. Curveball inside.
He has 7 outs, 3 strikeouts, 4 ground ball outs.
And if you're down 7-1 and it's the second game of a doubleheader and you can get through 8 innings using only 2 pitchers, that is big for the following day.
It certainly is.
We all hope Joe Russ pitches deep into the game tomorrow. And there's a laser right at Drew, 2 outs. But Sammy Solis right now is serving as the bullpen savior of the night.
But he's not he's not taxed. He's only thrown 39 pitches. You know, you're looking at 12, 13 pitches an inning. That is certainly not stressful.
Yeah, and probably unavailable tomorrow, but because of him, a lot of guys will be available.
Everybody else will be.
Yeah. Top of the order, Derek Dietrich. 0 for 2 career against Solis. Sammy struck him out looking. First batter he faced, and that was back in the 6th.
He just, not only does he have stuff, he has command.
I like his work rate. Gets a fly ball. It's going to carry a ways out to left center. Ben Revere, and that's it. 1, 2, 3. Sammy Solis. Robinson, Dendecker, and Heisey coming up. Masson, brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union, proudly serving the armed forces and their families for over 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA. By Airlines for America, where airplanes land, opportunity takes off. And by visitannapolis.org. Create your moment at visitannapolis.org. Hayes and Scherzer. He's got to be the National League Pitcher of the Week, right? We'll find out Monday.
We're going to do some serious investigating if he's not.
Brian Morris, somebody will have to pitch a no-hitter tomorrow for that not to happen. Maybe a perfect game. 21st appearance for Morris. He pitched 1/3 of an inning in the 5th inning of the first game today. Bases were loaded. He got a ground ball to end that 5th inning off the bat of Jason Worth. Clint Robinson up the middle. Way to his right, the shortstop Rojas, fantastic play, and a good scoop by Chris Johnson on the other end.
Well, you see how at-bats get better and better. First time that Robbie's hit the ball really solidly tonight. Great play. Great play. Going away, nice pick, both ends.
Dendecker 0 for 1. Yeah, Clint Robinson swinging the bat. That home run in St. Louis 2 weeks ago really got him going. Matt, a walk, hit by a pitch, has scored the Nats' only run tonight. Went first to third, scampering on a hit by Heisey to left center. Scored on a Drew fly ball that wasn't that deep.
We have Michael A. Taylor, who's a real special player. This kid right here just impresses me as a 4th outfielder. Not that I'm not saying he can't play every day, but when you can run, you can throw, you can hit for average, you can hit with some pop, hit the fastball, steal a base, pinch run and steal a base. You can double switch with him because he can play any outfield spot and you're not going to lose much, if anything. He plays hard too, boy.
0-2 with 1 out. An old friend of mine who played a lot of years with the Rangers and the White Sox in the American League. Recently a coach for the Braves, Scott Fletcher, once told me, Ray, that once you get labeled a utility player or a backup outfielder, it's a hard label to shed.
It is. It is.
He was able to do it. He became an everyday guy with Texas and then Chicago.
Well, he could do a lot of things. Great bunter, good hit and run guy, solid shortstop. But early in his career, because he could play second, short, third. Sometimes being versatile.
That can work against you here and there. But I tell you, managers always love having you on their ball club.
But you know, they're always looking for that next big thing. And for outfielders, that's usually power. You know, unless you're a center fielder, and center fielders, they want to have the ability to run. You're not going to play center unless you can. Steal bases, high on base percentage. But on the corners, you've got to hit home runs.
Dendecker takes it, 3-2. Matt, 28 years of age, from Fort Lauderdale originally, same high school, a little older. Michael A. Taylor's Westminster Academy. And then he was a Gator, 3-time All-SEC, Matt was. Made the opening day roster last year. Didn't make the club out of spring training this year, maybe the last guy to get cut. And then called up April 6th when Ben Revere went on the DL. Then he hit his first career leadoff homer against Minnesota's Tyler Duffy just a couple of weeks ago. 3-2, he swung at a ball that might have been outside, 2 outs. Inside the numbers with PNC. Consecutive starts and your team wins the ball game in the history of the franchise. Strasburg with Jordan Zimmerman ahead of Pedro. And by the way, Steven Strasburg's 6-0 start now, the best since Pedro Martinez went 8-0 to start the Expos 1997 season. Low and away to Heisey. So what do you think? Scherzer Tuesday, Strasburg Wednesday at Citi Field.
I look forward to this season facing those guys. They got the best of our ball club last year.
It'll be Gio Wednesday and then Strasburg on Thursday.
It doesn't matter. Anybody we throw out there is going to match up really well against those guys.
Mets rotation looking pretty human right now. Rockies now 7-1 over the Mets in the 4th inning at Coors Field. Oliver Perez for the 9th. Sammy Solis is throwing 42 pitches, by the way.
Sorry, Bob. Matt Harvey having a lot of velocity trouble.
Swing and a miss. Sammy Solis did not give up a hit in his 3 innings of relief tonight. Walked a man, erased him on a ground ball, and struck out 3. And by the way, you might have missed it if you didn't watch our game this afternoon. Had fans asking us about Max Scherzer's 20 strikeout game and asking me if they could see a copy of our scorecard from that game. It's on nationals.com. Go to the message boards, sometimes referred to as the fan forum, and there's a thread on there called Ask Bob, and we posted it on there today. It's also on social media on the Nationals Masson, actually the Masson Nationals Twitter account, but the link is on the nationals.com thread if you'd like to take a look at how it looked to us from the booth. And why not look at 20 strikeouts again, Ray Knight?
Mercy.
So let me ask you a question as we look at all of these. Do you remember a game in which you were a hitter when a guy just had a huge strikeout night, and who was it?
Yeah, Don Sutton struck out, I think it was 15 Cincinnati Reds. He got me 3 times. The only time in my career I struck out 3 times in a game. He had that hook, fastball about 94, elevating it, and we had no chance.
Max Scherzer, I love the way he celebrates his accomplishments. He is all in. And much to the relief of our clubhouse guy, Mike Wallace, this year, no chocolate syrup. Heisey down to second base, and some of the crowd got really excited by seeing him take that back. DI on the scoreboard, defensive indifference. 1 ball, 1 strike to Drew. 0 for 1, sac fly tonight and a walk. Up the middle by the pitcher, but not the shortstop. Miguel Rojas scampering all over the place in this inning. So the Nats have stranded 10. 1 inning left in the doubleheader, unless bullpen, kind of hang out with all your buddies in the corner there. And the big sign right below them, W.B. Mason. They present our Nats Extra post-game show. Johnny Holiday, Phil Wood when this one is over. It'll be their 4th show of the day, by the way. And tomorrow at 1:30, the Nats and Marlins wrap up the 4-game series. Jose Fernandez, not nearly as good on the road as he is at home, where he's almost unbeatable. But he's been very good against the Nats. 4-0 record with a 1.05 ERA in 7 starts against the Nats. And Joe Ross, career 2.83 at Nationals Park. You'll be back with Johnny tomorrow, right?
Yes, sir.
1 o'clock, Nats Extra, Masson 2. And don't forget our friends from WUSA 9 here in the district will join us tomorrow. FP will be back up here with me on a day that's supposed to be sunny and low 60s tomorrow. Prado, Yelich, and Stanton. And here's Oliver Perez, 34-year-old lefty, 14th appearance.
179. That's pretty nifty.
Out of play, right side by Martin Prado, who is 3 for 18 career. Jose Lobaton was going to pinch hit had the inning continued. So on a double switch, he should be leading off the bottom of the 9th. I think Wilson Ramos deserves an inning off. He's caught the entire doubleheader to this point. And a ball driven to center. For a moment, Ben Revere thought about challenging it. And Martin Prado has a 3-hit night. The Nats held him to 1 out of 8 through the first 2 games of the series. Next up, Christian Yelich, 2 for 2 against Perez. Christian Yelich has a lot of good numbers against a bunch of left-handed pitchers. It's one of the things we like and the Marlins like about this 24-year-old outfielder, who they locked up to a long-term deal. He is signed for 5 more years after this. I tell you, 24-year-olds usually don't get that kind of security. Good for him and good for the ball club.
Well, they know talent when they see it. This guy, he sees almost 4.5 pitches per at bat. He's really developed a fine eye at the plate.
22 players were drafted before him 6 years ago. .300 last year in 126 games. He was hurt, had some knee problems. .284 his first full year in the big leagues, and .288 when he made his debut back in 13. Got him looking.
Perfect.
Oliver Perez overmatching him with a big hook. If you missed the news earlier tonight, Mike Rizzo's option on his contract was due next month. Congratulations to Mike. The ball club has picked that up, and he will be with the Nationals through the 2018 season.
That's great. They're so committed to win here. They're learners with the money that they spend getting these free agents, and a guy like Mike Rizzo and his staff, boy, what quality people.
And that ball jacked into left field by Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah, check that out.
Yeah, and the farm system has been ranked higher than that. And by the way, it's worthy to note that about 10 years ago, when Mike joined the ball club replacing Jim Bowden, he came from Arizona, and at that time they were ranked the #1 organization, minor league organization in baseball.
Yeah,
so
Jim actually brought him over here before.
Yeah, and
he left.
So it's no accident that Rizzo has taken the Nats to the heights that he has.
Well, I've heard people in the game that's been in the game a long, long time, and you know his daddy was a long time scout, helps him here as an assistant, that Mike Rizzo was as good talent evaluator as there is in the game, was and is still.
Breaking ball to right center off the bat of the pinch hitter, Adeiny Echeverria. 2 outs here in the 9th.
Yeah, you don't reach those lofty goals being the highest-ranked minor league team or major league team with minor league players unless you do a lot of great drafting. And they just spend so much time on the road, logging in just miles and miles and miles, and my goodness. Talking about dedicated people, baseball scouts, and that's what makes this business go. You've got to find the talent.
Here's Ozuna. And against Oliver Perez, 0 for 2 career. Way inside. Not sure how that missed his spikes. Jose Lobaton had to turn his glove one way then the other and got the heel on it to stop it.
Yeah, he had to reach about 3 feet to come up with that. Block, stop, deflection, whatever you call it.
Breaking ball in there. Hard hit ball to left. Dendecker charging. Around third comes Prado. He'll stop. That Dendecker hits the cutoff man, Rendon. The bases are loaded with 2 outs. Miami double-digit hits in this game. That's 11.
Look how hard he charges this ball. He gets there, gets his feet set and ready to throw. You know, that's taking up ground is something that is sometimes overlooked when it comes to outfield assist. The quicker you can get to that ball, obviously, the less ground that a runner is going to cover.
Real Muto, 1 for 4, 2-run single. And the hook is in there, 1-1.
This is a pretty good looking lineup, even without Gordon not there. You know how great a table setter he is. But Dietrich hitting over 300, Prado way over 300, Yelich over 300, Stanton all the pop.
This one popped up to the right side. Clint Robinson. Fair ball when he catches it. That's it for the Marlins. So they put 7 runs on the board tonight on 11 hits.
Work to be done here in the bottom of the 9th inning. They trailed it by 6. Marlins 7 and the Nationals 1. Johnny Holiday along with Phil Wood. We invite you to come back and join us once this game is over. Hopefully it'll be some time for the Nats Extra postgame show.
Well,
6 runs is a big deficit to make up in the bottom of the 9th inning. It's not a great outing by Roark, and not much offense to speak of for the Nationals. So we'll see what happens here, but obviously after winning the first game, worst case scenario is a split today.
Exactly. The Marlins showed tonight that this young guy they brought up from AAA New Orleans had to leave the game with a shoulder problem after only 3 innings. He pitched pretty good.
He pitched all right, and the guy who picked him up, Jose Urena, will probably get the win tonight.
Okay, so we'll be around as soon as the ball game is over. Let's send you back upstairs. Here's Bob and Ray.
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Phil. It's always a good thing when the other ball club's closer isn't seen until the 3rd or 4th game of a series. And that's the case here for A.J. Ramos, 29-year-old closer for the Marlins. A 1.29 ERA this year. 10 saves, 42 career. And in 15 ball games, logging 14 innings, 21 strikeouts. He is definitely a guy who misses bats.
Yes, he does. He has electric stuff.
At times, he can walk some guys here and there, but he has a big cushion here. 21 strikeouts, 11 walks. Danny Echeverria takes over at short, and Miguel Rojas moves over to third. Jose Lobaton against Ramos' career 0 for 1. Fastball right high. And Lobaton's hitting one hard to right field. That's the Nats' 5th hit of the entire game.
Breaking ball, stays up. He smokes it. Nice little stroke. It's nice to sit over there for, what, 17 innings and come in and get you a knock?
Yeah, and he sat quite a bit earlier in the week. He did catch Gio last night. That's the norm for Lobaton. Top of the order, Ben Revere. 1 for 9 in the series against the Marlins. Ground ball, first base bag. Stepping on the bag, now a rundown. That'll be a 3-6-3 double play. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, giving you everything you've come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. Free subscription to At-Bat Premium, the #1 baseball app for live action. Blackout, other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Anthony Rendon, final hope for the Nats. Fastball fouled away.
I've heard FP talk about Papelbon sometimes when he throws 91, how it looks like he is throwing harder than that because hitters are late. Ramos is very similar. He can get it up there 93, 94. He's at 92, but see a lot of balls fouled off over the dugout.
Rendon to deep short. Echeverria. Doubleheader is over. The Nats get a split, and they've still won 2 out of 3 in this series. So straight up 10 o'clock, this one comes to an end after 2 hours and 55 minutes.